Hey guys, welcome to Quad S Trading, and today we're going to go over the trades of March the 10th. So March is historically a very slow month. There is not a lot of runners, so we don't have as many trades as we usually do. However, we're still crushing it. And this week we actually had one loser because this week was so slow that we took a chance on a stock that we would not generally trade, so we got to stop out and I'll show you that stock. But do remember to subscribe as I am giving away one free lifetime membership to a lucky winner. Once we hit 250 subscribers, you just need to comment below. So let's start with the first one, TRVI. This one here was a nice one. It has high dilution everywhere. It pumped, 72%. Now we did identify a resistance point here. So if this stock would have went all the way up here, this was definitely been my entry. But because it came down, and we always do the first close below the blue line. So unfortunately, it was not an entry here. It was an entry down here. So you enter here, and we cover at this purple line right here. Or you can cover the next day at 6 in the morning if you have a day trading rule. However, this trade here is 71 cents per share. So on a $10,000 account, you would have made $71 on this trade, and with a $50,000 account, you would have made $355 off this trade. Next one on the list is Ray, R-A-Y. So this one here, I sort of misplayed it. I shorted it when there was a couple red candles like this, thinking that it would nosedive right away down to these purple lines. However, it tanked, but it came right back up. So the original entry should have been at the 185 instead of the 163. So when I saw the stock pump up here, I thought maybe, hey, it's almost going to hit it and then it's going to tank. Sometimes I bend my rules, and those usually are the ones that cost me either stop or not as much profit as I would like. And unfortunately, this week, like I said, we had a couple like that. Just one full stop out though. I only lost half my position, so we'll go over that one later time. So anyways, I got in at 163. As you can tell, there's no SS123 or 4 entry here, just because I just went in thinking this was gonna nosedive, but it did not, and it pumped right back here. So I don't take it back here because it's not a big enough of an average up. We're just talking like 10 cents. So I went up this one here. Another resistance points. You take the SS4 trade here, and then you cover either at the midpoint or you cover at the end of the day. So we covered the midpoint because this one here had not the best dilution. So that's the reason why we didn't take this all the way. In fact, it had not available for all the dilution. So usually the stocks that are a little bit more riskier like this one, we do a halfway finish like this one right here, cover. But as you can tell, it pumped back up and it came back to this purple line at a slightly worse exit anyway. So we won taking it at the halfway mark. ONDS. This one here was a nice little trade. So sometimes, not sometimes, but very often what we do is we take a position like 5 to 10 cents below a resistance point. So for sometimes, most of the time that's what I do. So boom, 138, so taking that 5 cents below, which I got in. So we did a high of 134 and I got in at 133, and then it tanked right down, straight down to this purple line, and it was a nice 50 cents per share. So on a $10,000 account, you would have made $51, and on a $50,000, you would have made $255 off this trade. Next one is CRVO. This is another one that I misplayed. This was a pump text. So as you can tell, it just went crazy like this, 172%. But right here at these candles here, because it's a pump text, I did an assumption that it would come back down like this. But sometimes the pump texts, those are from stock.news, they are a hit or miss. The stock will either go up sideways, up some more like crazy, or it's really a straight up, straight down. And because this dilution was very high on everything, I thought it was an up and down. So I actually got in here. So the trade I'm showing you is what the system, or what I teach, should have happened. What I'm telling you is what I actually did. So I entered right here in the 420-ish, and then it went up against me. So I averaged up at the 618-ish. So it would be like 614, 613-ish, right? Because you go 5 cents below. And then when this came back up in the $7 here, there was a MACD cross right here. I actually averaged up here a little bit more, and I didn't want to lose on this one. So my average was 567. So I actually held this overnight, and I think it was $3 for the first overnight, and then it was maybe $8 for the second overnight. And then up and over here, I played this one a whole lot longer than I usually do. I usually just get out, here, 6 a.m. And I covered up in this 540, 550 area just to kind of break even. I think I lost maybe, I don't know, let's say $5 to $10 just off of the fees, which is not that bad considering that I misplayed this one. But what you should have done is just be patient. There's no entry here. As you can tell, let me just pull the 4-hour candle. Look, there's no entry anywhere here until this pivot right here. Did it close below the blue line? No, it did not. Like if you look at this one here, the price closed at 388 and the blue line is 386. So it closed 2 pennies above it. So there's no entry here either, right? So this is the entry, and the next day at 6, this is the entry. And this is a 49 cents per share win. So if I played the rule properly on a $10,000 account, you would have made $49. And if you would have played this properly on a $50,000 account, it would have been a $245 win. RGC, that one here is our stop. So when there's a lot of halts like this, sometimes we play the halts because a lot of times you'll see it'll halt up like crazy, halt down like crazy. But this one here, the stock specifically, this one here is one of those weird ones. It's not a meme stock, but it pumps irrationally. Like if you look at the 4-hour, like up over here, look at this one here, this candle. It went nuts, almost 1,000% within what, 8 hours, these two candles, right? So we got to watch out for these ones. I played anyways. I knew I shouldn't. There's no entry on this one here because for one, the stock was all not available for dilution, and we trade stocks with dilution only. So anyways, my average was like 9 some. I got out up in this area here, the 14.15. I was very small in my share, so I lost $100 on this one. Like I said, not a big deal. But at the end of the day, if you follow the rules, our win rate is extremely high. So without this loss here, I think I'm almost at like 45 wins in a row. If I played it properly, but this one here was just, like I said, slow week, slow month. I just wanted to do a trade, and I got burnt on it. So moral of the story, if the setup doesn't happen, don't trade. If you have less amount of trades this week, don't worry about it. Eventually one will come, and just take the trades or the setups that are properly, and they do our system. LFWD. Like this is a nice one, right? You're gonna be patient. It pumps up, it halted. This is what I'm talking about. The halts up and straight down, and it halted up. This was our SS1 entry at 250, and we covered here at the 174 at this purple line for a win of $76. 76 cents per share. So on a 10,000, that would be $76, and on a 50,000, it would have been a $280 win, a $380 win. And the last one is BON. So these are the ones that actually did our system. I'll go over a few that were wins that some people in our group took, but didn't follow the dilution rules, but they were still a bunch of winners. So this one here, it actually went pretty crazy. One candle, this thing went pretty much from here, 1,300% within more or less like 6 minutes, because this went straight up, straight down. It was very quick, like within 8 minutes. Some in our one guy in my party, or in our group, managed to get this at $9, and he covered at 350. So he got a huge win on this one here. But then it went sideways, and so we have a resistance point right here. Okay, so anything above this resistance point, you take the trade. So let's say this pumps up like this, like crazy, and it comes down like this. You can take a trade anywhere here because this is technically an entry. Or if you want to be patient, you let it go down, it comes back up. Anything like this is all an entry. I was extremely cautious on this one, and I actually entered right here at 196, and you cover at this purple line for 50 cents per share win. And this one here, on a $10,000 account, you got $57, and you'd have made $285 on a $50,000 account. Now let's go over the honorable mention. So we have GMHC. Now this one here did just an SS2 trade. It pumped, just barely enough, 30%. It hit our pivot point right here, and it crashed right down to the purple line. So I did not take this trade here. Dilution tracker, everything was low on this one, low to not available, so I don't trade anything that has no dilution. But some people took it, and that was a trade there. We have 𝐶𝐽. If you look at this one here, the stock the day before pumped, a good 74%. We have one pump, two pumps. You can either take the position here if it would have went there, which it did not, or you take the SS1, which is closed below the blue line, and you cover at this purple. And if we were just to measure that like this to here, this would have been a 34 cents per share. We have HMR. This one here was also a system 2. As you can tell, it touched, like I said, you go 5 cents below. So this is, let's say, 184, and this went to 480. So we're still, we would have one penny below the high of the day. So you would have went right here, and you cover right here for a huge, fairly big win of $1.14, which is really nice. Then we have, so let's just do SNOA. Same thing, this one here had no dilution. Some people got stuck in this one, but if you have a look at this trade here, it pumps from the day before roughly 67%. You take a position up here and you cover right here. As you can tell, these patterns happen all the time. So if you go like this to right here, a nice 70 cents, and then after that it pumps again. You've gone in like right here, it would have pumped up, you would have closed right here. Right, so you would have gotten somewhere like this, somewhere right here, 34 cents. You can nail this one twice. Okay, but I just don't like playing the one with no dilution because you have no clue where it's going to go. It could do something like a GV the other day, this week. Like something like this. Pump. Oh, look at that. Pump, 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 pump. Down a little bit. Pump up, and then pump up again. Right. So these are the ones that have no dilution. This is what you don't want to be stuck in. So that's why I played safe. You trade the rest, and you trash. Yeah, you trade the best, trash the rest. And OPRX is one that some guys went into. Some people got stopped out on this one here. For one, it was an earnings right here. We don't like trading earnings, especially when it's in the green like this. So somebody would have came up here like this, would have nailed it right here. Because if you do 5 cents below the 187, some people just missed it. Either way, let's say you did an SS1 here, and you shoot for, the purple lines, you would have gotten out. It wouldn't have not worked. It pumped, from here to here, 37. If you took an entry at this pivot point here, just none of this worked out. This trade just was not working. See, it didn't even hit the purple line until way up here. So some people just got stopped out of this one. But you just got to trade accordingly. If this trade does not look nice, just shrink your trade size. If you look at the 4-hour charts, we have no huge resistance point. We do have a pivot here in the $9. Maybe a little bit of resistance up in this area here. Some resistance right here. But either way, this here was not a trade for us. So anyways, that's it for this one. Do remember my Discord is in the description link below. Head over there. I do verify everybody manually, so do go in there to say, hey, at 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 Trading, I found you on YouTube, and I'll send you a friend request. We'll chat there, and I'll give you permission to hop into our free channels for Discord. So yeah, we'll see you there.